Coach announced the team to play the Bulls at Loftus on Saturday.
The team is Dylan Late, Sergio Peterson, Ruandel, Dan Duplessis, SP Marais, Damien Willemse, Herschel Janchi, Sikambuza Noche, Ernst Verrein, Kobus van Dijk, JD Schikkeling, Chris van Zyl, Wilco Low, Scarrett Tabeni, Ali Vermaak, Chad Solomon, Caleb Westhuizen, Netling Fischer, Simon Murat, Jaco Kutsia, Paul de Vet, and Josh Stander. No, it wasn't too difficult because there was no imperative from SA Rugby, and the way Dylan he's been outstanding. I think I agree with the experiment of Damien at 15, but to me he's one of the best 10s in the country as well. So it wasn't too hard. Josh has got a couple of contusions. Has played pretty much every game, so it wasn't actually that hard. It's hard. Leaving guys like Ewe van Leeuwen and JJ Engelbrecht and that lot out is there's a lot of depth in the backs at the moment.
Johan Vermaak, is he injured?
Yeah, he cracked a bone in his hand against the Sharks. He'll only be back either next week or if there is a week after, the week after. But he's not out for the season. Not the season's 2 weeks, but he's not out. It'll be hard to keep the ball away from SP. I could choose somebody else, but on the field, so SP, yeah, SP. It's impossible.
Tough losing a guy like Jan who's experienced ahead of a game like this.
Yeah, he's probably the most probably the most influential, popular guy in the team, and yes, he's a good scrum off. Yeah, he's a very big player. But like I said before, Herschel's almost like a mini version in terms of how they play and their approach and their support lines and even the distances they run. So it's quite nice to have a like-for-like scrum off coming in.
Didn't train today, did he?
No, he's got a sore calf. Yeah.
Are you expecting to be second on the log by the time you guys kick off?
Yeah. yeah. I think we probably are. What's interesting is it's down for 30 millimeters of rain in Loftus, and that could change that. We were obviously 4 tries a hell of important to us. So those conditions could make it a bit more of a slugfest than we'd like it to be.
Chris, obviously, if 1 point's needed to be, you need to get 1 log point probably in the game. How does is the team embracing that pressure? Is that maybe a good thing in a way because it keeps you on your toes as opposed to being a dead rubber?
I think the way we've approached this game is nothing less than wanting to go up there and make another statement. We've been quite hard on ourselves with regards to what we feel our standards are. We felt we dropped off in some areas against the Sharks, so by no means are we comfortable with ourselves, and that's why we feel this game on Saturday is very important going into a semi-final. We really want to build momentum and also potentially make a big statement. I don't think it's in anybody's minds to go there and pick up a point. I think the plan is to go there and play proper rugby and come away with a win, which makes it, sorry to answer your question, which does make it great for motivation and preparation of the week, which has been great.
And the move with Dan?
Listen, I've been quite keen for a while now to get Dan Duplessis a start. He came on against Montpellier after a long injury, he was outstanding in Supersport Challenge after a long injury, got injured again. Came on 20 minutes against Montpellier, didn't get the ball. Came on 20 minutes, I think, against the Pumas, got the ball once. So we really need I think that guy is potentially a Springbok. So the sooner we get him on the field and have a good look at him, the better. So I'm quite excited by him, I must say. He's got what people don't think about Dan, also because of his injuries, is his physicality. He's a bit of a, like his dad, he's a bit of a madman on the field, So I'm really excited to give him a chance. And then next week we must reassess, having seen both, seen Dan Creel and Dan Dup, who we think the right one is for the semi-final.
And what do you make of the Bulls? So, they've been a little inconsistent?
I think from what we're seeing from the outside is a team that sort of I'm not sure who they are. I'm not entirely sure who they are, because to my mind it's been obviously Mitch took them on a journey, and now that journey the tide seems to be receding a bit, and I think they're a bit in between at the moment, which can be a good thing for them. I mean, they're a good side on paper, and we know we've had some messages that they're going to be pretty physical, pretty direct. They targeted 1 or 2 players of ours apparently. It's not something we really bother with, but I mean, if you're going to target a Wilco Low or something, it's going to be interesting. That's what we heard. No, I think they're a team that's between two sort of obvious stars at the moment. I say that can work for them, and also can cause some confusion.
Have you infiltrated their ranks with a spy or something?
We've got our men in Pretoria. No, we just heard some of the players talking. We just heard a bit of laugh. Listen, they went to. They played. That wasn't actually all their players went to Namibia. I think I've got no doubt that Puerto will have them incredibly motivated. They're playing for a lot, and those first 20 minutes, especially when our lungs, you always get that burn in the first 10 to 15 minutes your lungs go. I think that's going to be a really tough period for us. I expect that to be really, really tough. And, they're going to be very psyched. They're going to be very motivated. But we know they're coming for us in this game.
It's interesting that you went for 2 big flank forwards again. Obviously, they will be playing with from start. I haven't seen the team, but I would assume that. So break time could be interesting. It's a matter of clearing hard and staying on the front foot, or how did you?
Listen, we Notcher came back from the Springboks and said, how outstanding Marco was as a fetcher. And I haven't seen that. Obviously, I haven't seen their team either. But guys like Nick de Jager and Steenkamp are really good on the ball. So that's a major area of threat. We've worked pretty hard on this week. Our breakdown statistically is the fastest and the most secure in the competition. And it's vital to how we want to play. But we all worked very hard on our reaction to clean and our cleaning, and that's the thing. And I think, a guy like Ernst van Rijn, he doesn't strike you as fast, but he'll clean. He'll make 40 to 50, like Chris. They'll make 40 plus cleans a game. So I think we may not be as nimble or as fast as them, but I think our work ethic is fantastic. So we'll be okay.
Michael Kumbulla?
He's got a slight quad contusion. Probably could have played him, but we also have to build have another tight head ready in case we get another injury going in towards the playoffs. And just so you know, that Chucky is not fit yet. He'll be ready next week.
How did Noche come back? What kind of mental space was he in when he came back?
Unbelievable. Incredible. He came back. He was there Monday morning, and messaging me about players. And we tease Noche a lot. And we said to him, "You've arrived. Your ego's coming by DHL. What's the story?" and no, he's been. I promise you, stellar, incredible. He's so keen to play. I think he's very keen to play 8, and I think that guy. He's keen to show the country that he was in the Springbok team. To make a difference.
Is Bongi? What's the situation with Bongi?
Bongi is being rested. I think Bongi's been through a lot. You can read into that what you will, but he's been through a lot, and I think he needed a mental break for a week, and he'll be back next week. And I think we'll get a good return from giving Bongi a break.
John, were you tempted at all to keep Josh Stander in the starting 15 with the form that he's shown throughout the season?
Yeah, to be honest, not really. We wanted to have a Damien Willems is always going to be in our team, and Dylan Lates is always going to be in our team. I mean, it's an impossibility they're not. So there wasn't much room for manoeuvre. And Josh is carrying, I think on an injury list, he's got 3 or 4 soft tissues at the moment. So it was pretty, to be honest, it was pretty easy. I think next week, you get towards playoff rugby, it's going to be a harder conversation than this week. I agree with you, he's been outstanding, and he's kept the team going forward nicely. So it is going to be unpleasant next week.
And the 5 forwards on physicality that you expect, or is it because the players in your backline give you so many options in terms of
Well,
versatility?
yeah, there are. I mean, there is the versatility and the fact that we can roll. So if we sub a guy, if we put Paul de Vet on for Herschel, and we can always put Herschel back and Paul can go to the wing. So there is that. But the other thing is that with this 22-man squad system in the 6-game Currie Cup, you've got to have 2 props unless you've got a real swinger, and we don't have a swinger who's proven on both sides. So every game you've got to write down a lucid and a tighted before you start, because if Ali Vermaak went in the 3rd minute and we had let's say Carlos Sardi or Michael Kumbra on the bench, we're going to be under pressure at lucid, and the same goes. So we have to have 2 props before we start, and then we at Loftus to ask 1 forward to cover the back 5, to ask someone to cover 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously you'd shuffle guys around, but ask those other guys to go the whole game would be a lot. So it's not too hard.
Right, thank you very much everyone.